If my chairs don't match my tablecloth, there are riots in the streets, Carson.
Guess I'll grab you before doing the festival. Oh, fake tears.
Anyway, going back to what I was saying, and if I'm wrong, I can own up to that. But I'm going to make an educated guess with. Oh, funny, because you didn't enter the.
That's why I was doing this. I haven't entered the festival ground, so I can actually walk around the outside.
Anyway, to make my guess, and I'm making this guess before it's bronzer.
Because it's flat. I was like, what the hell is that?
It's bronzer. I will make my guess in a second, goddammit. I know what a bronzer is. What's funny, until you technically go up and talk, you can sort of, scoot around. Goddammit.
Just ignore you, then and pick up everything.
Well, that's also because you're here for the sign, not the full festival, so. Because the sign's right there, you can just go around it and just get.
Yeah, I can just walk around and pick everything up.
It's not like it's that festival. Anyway.
Because I'm like a pack rat. When I see things, I have to grab them.
Going back to my point, and I want to say this: if I'm wrong, I will own up to that. But I want to make a guess because even if nobody watches this, I can make a point. That I said this in a recording, and if this times well, this might go up about the time the Indigo disc releases. Who, at first, I will just reiterate some things so that it's more coherent. Who, at first, said, digital team, digital battle, and referred to Smogon and Pokemon Showdown. And to quickly explain Showdown, because not everyone is aware of what Showdown is. Showdown is a Pokemon fan site. If you go to Pokemon Showdown, you create fake Pokemon teams based on the teams in an actual Pokemon match. But because it is just a fan site and doesn't use any of Game Freak's code, and it's free, Showdown doesn't get into legal trouble because it's not stealing anything from Game Freak, and you can't connect Showdown to any Pokemon games. Mm. You just go to Showdown and create digital fake teams, but you can edit those teams to be anything. You want to use a Ursaluna on Pokemon Showdown, and you want that Ursaluna to be Brave Nature with a 0 speed IV? You can do that.
Mm-hmm. This is why Showdowns always call themselves a simulator to dodge any legal allegations, because it is just copying the battles, the rest of the, single-player content.
And even copying the battles isn't even using Game Freak's code.
Yes, which has led to Showdown inconsistencies for years. For years, Showdown thought Metronome Boost maintained if you peck something with Protect. No, that resets it.
They fix as they learn things.
I know, my point was because this gets into its own entirely different thing, that Showdown makes a few assumptions at points, and those assumptions have actually been wrong.
Yeah, but they normally fix it when they... Going back to the fucking Ku thing. Showdown is a battle simulator. And Ku initially, digital teams. And he said a couple of times. At least I remember him saying digital teams. But then... after that fucking digital teams, he then did the most obnoxious, PK Hex fans are gonna be happy. You know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And if
hey, boo-boo, get in that PK Hex, boo-boo.
And if you don't know what PK Hex is, because again, not everyone will know that, PK Hex was a fan-made hex editor that could be installed on modified Nintendo consoles and straight out edit any Pokemon you put into it. And more specifically, PK Hex has a other feature that even if Game Freak tapped into the editing, they're not going to let you use the fucking other feature.
Because the other one is that it can
gen Pokemon. It can just straight out create Pokemon. Because Pokemon are just hexadecimal data. PK Hex just generates the data needed to create a Pokemon. And the Pokemon you create, PK Hex, then does a PK Hex hack check to see if the Pokemon you have generated is legit. And it will straight out point out any inconsistencies in the Pokemon that you're generating.
The point basically
we'll move around to the main point. Like, I need to explain a minute more of PK Hex. Like, if you're using the generation thing, you can fucking create anything, even Pokemon that do not legally exist.
Yes.
And Ku said PK Hex fans, and then he said PK Hex like mode. But to go back to what I think is actually going to happen, regardless of if Carson's other guess about a battle facility is right or wrong. Ooh,
wait, is that?
It's the ice one.
I was like, that's either shiny or a fucking regional. Wait, on.
It's the regional one, so it's ice steel. See? That ain't shiny.
Wait, no, I have a shiny sand slash shiny's red, not blue.
Well,
but that's also, again, really fast.
It's the regional variant, first of all.
No, but that's my point. It's
meaning. Yep. That's the Ice Fairy Vulpix. Cool. Hold on. Cool.
Wait, hold on. Dude. Damn it, I don't...
What?
I don't have any steel types other than you. Fire will do.
It's weak to fire. We'll go back to the cool
yes,
tangent.
Yes, but overkill is funny to me.
We'll go back to the cool tangent.
Don't freeze, don't freeze, don't freeze.
Neat. Regional variant. Okay. Back to making fun of Ku. Or being hard or wrong. So anyway. Carson's battle facility gas may or may not happen. Regardless of that happening, what I think Ku is talking about, and this is the most skeevy technicality, but would still kind of make people happy, but not in the way that is sort of advertised. I bet the PK Hex mode, I could just go like, let's, use any random example. I bet in the Indigo Disc, I can just go to a terminal, and at this terminal, you can literally PK Hex a digital team that is entirely rental code and, like, online only. But that technically does meet Ku's criteria in the most technical way. Because if...
God damn it, game. Come on, go. Yeah, there you go.
It's because of the angle of the wall.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I bet what's actually happening with that, because this would mean Ku is correct, but is then technically incorrect, is that you can at Blueberry Academy in the Indigo Disc, you just go to a terminal. And this terminal straight out lets you create a Pokemon out of nothing.
I still feel like it's not even going to be that because of all the shit Ku said that basically was kind of a lie, and I'm like, what the fuck are you on
Yes,
about?
but...
Because with this being in the DLC, you don't have to care about spoilers. Like him keep saying that like the fucking lake house is basically the plot of this game when no it isn't. What the hell are you goddamn
My
calling?
point is, if they let you create a digital team and you can edit the digital team...
Yeah, so he would technically be right. But I feel like we're not even going to get that because of all the fucking lies.
No, but I could actually see them doing that, not editing your actual Pokemon.
Yes, I could see that being the, like, thing, especially, you know, if you only care about, like, battling and shit. But even with that, I feel...
That thing tidies up, I'm gonna laugh. Good try, Barrett!
Anyway, because
that amnesia is totally gonna make your physical damage do less.
Because it's the DLC, and you know it's one of those don't have to care about spoilers. Like, so there are several things Ku basically had
said that were super inconsistent. But what I'm making a hypothetical guess about is
I could.
No, you just go to a terminal. You can PK Hex a digital team.
Yeah, you can technically gin a team, but that team only exists via rental code.
But then Ku would... Why Iron Defense?
I accidentally clicked the button. The game did not register me pressing down. That is why. I meant to click Rock Salt. I'm not going to body press it. But it's 4 times effective, so, you know, it should die.
Well, the funny thing, that body press would actually do decent damage in a minute here. And you could swap it if you stayed in. Because that is his physical attacker. And he likes attempting, if he's faster, to maybe belly drum. So you can just body press. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Whatever the hell just happened. Back to my point. Ku said PK Hex fans will be happy and laughed like, you know, an idiot. And because he went from digital team to, oh, PK Hex fans would be happy, hey, if you know what I mean, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And PK Hex is an editing tool that lets you edit Pokemon to be anything you want, but it also just lets you create fake Pokemon. But if the thing that creates fake Pokemon and edits Pokemon to be whatever you want, if the editing tool happens to edit for digital teams, Ku is technically not wrong, but this state...
Yes, but like you know, I can't remember if I did fully go on this rant, because while we were playing the game, I wanted to try and not talk about the story, but again, like, the lake house doesn't connect to the game at all, especially because if you are actually secret localizer leaker man that knows the truth, you saying that the game is time travel is actually wrong, because again, if you have supposedly been, like, testing shit for localization reasons, you should know that, like, with the DLC and shit, that they confirm that that's actually not, like, a time machine or whatever, meaning you would have been lying this whole fucking time.
Remember Modern Ku? Well, first Ku kept showing the lake house, and that's not at all what's going on here, but now remember Modern Ku keeps saying Dragon Palace.
Yeah. And then there's just a bunch of other shit where, again, you either, like, you're technically right, or when you're either technically right or super not right. Like you said, a lot of designs would be like a lot of fetish Amons, and he was acting like they would have like Serena again, and that like Smoliv was going to become Serena again, when I'm sorry, it doesn't. Especially because Serena is in the game, it fucking doesn't at all? What the fuck were you on, sir? Though I will admit the Pala fan, because he kept showing the, like, dolphin hero from Yu-Gi-Oh! That's one of the times where you being the most literal was actually spot on, and that's what makes Ku so fucking frustrating, is that for every, what the fuck are you on? You're a filthy liar that is getting lucky. You actually have several, it actually fills...
Damn it, we could word this. For every dolphin... Damn it, for every dolphin hero... Oh, damn it. I'm laughing too much at my own stupid joke. The two sides of this madman, for every, like, riddle that's Dolphin Hero, is always offset by riddles that are the lake house, is basically what I was trying to... Because I don't get the lake house.
I feel like he was trying
I get what... Well, the thing about the lake house... Hold on.
I feel...
We've went down this road before, but now that we're deeper...
Because I think I did save
No,
this...
now that we're in DLC...
I think I did save this rant until the end of one of the games, so we have gone down this road, but for the reason for the whole lake house thing is people seem to think that he was, you know, referring to, like, basically time travel or something at some point, with one of the professors looking like they're from the future and one looking like they're from the past, and them actually both being Arvin's parents, because that is, you know, actually true, and the game does reveal that. The problem, basically, here is because of what the lake house was, he made it sound like we were going to actually do a thing of, like, Arvin or the player is what's able to connect, like, the time travel, but that doesn't happen, especially, again, if we actually do end up revealing the thing of, oh, it's actually not, like, time travel. The one machine actually did something completely different, and that's why the Paradox Pokemon are paradoxes, because they're not past or future forms. They are literally the one guy's delusions. But I will be fair and say that's one of those contradicting a theory was another theory, which I do fucking hate when people do.
Regardless, though, because this is the DLC, and we've seen the story, the lake house... Because I looked it up when we talked about this.
Oh, everyone fucking looked it up after he started talking about it.
No, to make sure, because I remembered how that...
I don't know if this is true, or if this was someone just, like, spreading a meme to see if people would spread it without fact-checking it. After Ku started spreading his shit, that movie apparently shot up on a bunch of piracy sites. Again, I don't know if that actually happened. I can
explain the plot of the lake house, and you'll see the problem. So the lake house is not a conventional... time travel movie. So, in the lake house, the plot of that movie, I can just sum this up. There is a lake house, and there are two people that live in this lake house. Like, there are two people that live in this lake house. And the thing is, there is a mailbox. And this mailbox can transport items in the mailbox back and forth through time. Because, as it turns out, the two people living in the lake house are living in different time periods. But the separation is only 2 years apart. I forget who was on what. I think the guy is on, I think the guy is the, 2 years in the past, but...
Which is funny, because if that's the case, that would mean that's actually opposite of the professors in this game.
It's not even the point. The mailbox lets the... Like, goddammit. When they put letters in the mailbox, the mail travels back and forth through time. So the people who are... The man and woman are communicating, and they realized that they're communicating, and they realize that they're actually living in different years. And that it's only like a 2-year difference. But like, the thing is, when Ku kept showing the lake house, regardless of, like, time travel things, the whole thing about the lake house, because the mailbox sends stuff back and forth through time. The man and the woman in the lake house, for most of the movie, are separated by 2 years. And when Ku would show the lake house and make a point, before we knew who Arvin's parents were, it's like, oh, doesn't his features kind of look like the professor's? I'm just saying, that's kind of sus. People literally, like, I can word it this way. People thought Arvin was the mailbox. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, what is your overall opinion on Ku? I thought I would ask because we were talking about a bunch of leaks that Ku basically made. And when it comes to Ku, I'm incredibly conflicted because for every correct leak he made, there were tons of incorrect leaks, or at least partially correct leaks, and that does make me wonder if he was spouting bullshit on purpose in order to avoid Game Freak actually figuring out who he was, or if Ku was in contact with a different person, and that person saw a bunch of pitch documents and rough drafts and basically leaked those as if they were getting added to the game, even though a bunch of pitch documents would simply be ideas being pitched, and just because an idea is pitched does not mean that idea gets used at all. And yet Ku had a bunch of accurate information, or at least enough partly accurate information where it does feel like he had access to something, but I'm not quite sure what that was. While Carson calls Ku a liar, Ku did constantly get things correct, and he also constantly got things at least partly correct, which again leads to the fact that he likely did have some type of contact at Game Freak, or he actually did work for Game Freak, meaning a lot of his random lies might have been done on purpose just because that would make your rambling look a little bit less legit, which would mean someone at Game Freak might think you made a few lucky guesses, which would be a way to avoid losing your job, because they do take leaks quite seriously, and if you leak too much or leak very specific things, they could figure out who you are and likely fire you for leaking private material that you're not supposed to disclose to anyone. So, if Ku was lying on purpose, I understand why, but that leads to a very weird scenario where this motherfucker had so many things that they said that were right, but then so many other things that they said were wrong. So it makes him look crazy, and it makes him look like a chronic liar, unless he was trying to avoid potential backlash from Game Freak. And this is why I would love to know what you think of Ku now, because you can't say Ku 100% lied about everything, but a lot of the stuff that he got correct is only partially correct, which does often make a lot of his leaks look like lucky guesses, unless Ku was specifically trying to avoid getting in trouble with Game Freak, because that would potentially mean losing his job, and I would understand someone leaking a bunch of stuff basically being vague and weird and straight out lying at points just so that they could avoid Game Freak catching on to who they are, because then that would stop Game Freak from finding them and basically firing them, which if Game Freak fired someone over leaks, that would not be surprising, and I believe they've done that before, but I'm starting to get off topic. My main point, now that everything is said and done, I would love to know what you think of Ku, because everything he got correct was offset by tons of things he got partially correct or straight out lies that never happened. And Ku swears, oh, all the things he saw were scrapped ideas and mechanics, but that feels like you're just covering your ass, because that would mean Game Freak threw out tons of development for virtually no reason, but now I'm getting way off track. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel, and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you'll come back someday. See you later.